Hey, Utah-Idaho. The key words for 2020 are suspended, postponed, frozen, canceled, delayed, inappropriate, distant, don't, and you can't. What a challenge. And what a long, trying, and difficult season. These seem like some ingredients for a hard report. Now, I'm sure you've heard this already by now, but it bears repeating. Dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. How in the world can this season, can your season that you're in right now, be an opportunity for great joy? Because God's still at work. And He's at work in church planting. And let's talk about that for a minute. With our existing church plants, there's great news. We've not lost one. Not one single church plant has closed its doors and called it quits because of COVID shutdowns. In fact, with many churches simply closed, no sports on television, nothing new and fresh, people are looking for something, and a lot of people that don't normally or wouldn't normally have found our church plants or your existing church online. You realize that it's quite possible we shared the gospel with more people across Utah-Idaho in the past few months than any other time in our history. And God's still planting churches. We have new church plants. With so many things on hold, there was an assumption or a belief that church planting was on hold. That's not so, because building His church is the work of God. Planter families who were already called to Utah-Idaho, who moved here prior to funding approvals, who moved here prior to assessment, and some even moved into what was at the time COVID hotspots. Why? Because God was not taken by the surprise of their circumstances, and because His call is not a circumstantial call. We've seen more churches planted this year, and more planters are coming. There was a concern, I had a concern with travel freezes and budget freezes that there might be a slump in the people who would be looking to the future, but we have people looking to come to Utah and Idaho. Some are in the initial stages of seeking God's direction. Others are already preparing for the assessment process. God is faithful, and He is the one who calls. There are families preparing to join us in expanding the kingdom. Here's the simple bottom line. In a season of bad news, in a season of troubling news and uncertainties, there are more churches today in Utah and Idaho than there were last year. And God continues to set the table for growth across the two states. Brothers and sisters, when trials or troubles of any kind or of every kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. Because God is greater than the trials. And even in our hardest moments, He's unscathed. His work is unhindered. He is building His church and He's growing His kingdom. And it's my great joy to share with you that He's doing that right here in Utah and Idaho. Be blessed. Be joyful. God bless you. He is at work.